Hey YouTube, Sack Guy here with another review of a marbles knife. I just got this a little while ago, a couple months ago from a friend of mine as a gift, and I thought I'd share it with you. It's a very unique knife. It's the Marbles Safety Folder. And as you can tell, the Marbles box, orange box. Not a whole lot on the box, just marbles in the clock face. And this is an MR204. Now, one of the cool things that he gave me with this knife, before I open the box, I'll show you, is but the original patent. Now, this is the drawing. Let's see if I can... scoot back a little bit there, and you can freeze and see the drawing. And then this is the original patent for the knife, and it was Milton H. Howland of Gladstone, Michigan, applied for the patent. He's the guy who originally designed the knife, and he worked for with Marbles to make it, and he just titled it as the hunting knife. Marbles, let's get that back in there a little bit. Marbles is the one that named it the Safety Folder. Now let's go ahead and get in the box here. As you see, it comes in a kind of a neat little pouch. To protect it, zip pouch, pretty nice. And you can see the pouch is kind of got a real soft lining in it. Furry type lining, nylon type, and the knife comes in a plastic bag inside that to protect it even more. So this is the knife itself. It's a folding knife, and as you can see, the blade is sticking out down here an inch or so past the handle. So you have this part right here, and I'll show you in just a minute the unique slip joint knife that they've modified. And to open up, it's a little stiff to open. It's got the 90-degree stop on it for safety. That's for opening and closing. Then you have the knife guard. Now this would be a regular slip joint like that, but the unique thing of this knife is that this blade guard folds up, and now it'll give a little bit, but the knife blade won't fold up on you. So that's where they get the folding safety knife from. It's one of the first locking blade pocket knives, and at the time this was considered a pocket knife. When the knife was first made in 1902, 1903 time frame, people's pants pockets, or I should say men's pants pockets and boys' pants pockets, were much larger than what they are now. So to have a large knife like this folded up and in your pocket was not that big a deal. Now the blade is 5 inches long, and at its widest point it's 1 inch. The blade thickness is 1/8 of an inch, and then you see that it kind of tapers down to the point. This is a Bowie style blade. The blade is made of 440A stainless steel, and closed length of the blade is 6 inches and 6 3/8 inches. As I said, this knife originally was made in the early 1900s. They made it up until the beginning of World War II, when they ceased production. Knives from the 30s and 40s go for several $100s. They're made out of carbon steel, so if you can find them, and if they're in fairly decent shape, they'll have a pretty good value on them. A friend of mine, when I was in the Air Force, Jason, showed me, he was carrying one, and at the time I didn't know a whole lot about it until I just got this knife. And Jason, if you see this video, the knife your dad gave you is worth a little bit of money. As I said, I've done some research, and these knives are very valuable now, especially the ones made back in the early 1900s. When they first came out, some of them had stag bone handles, some had hard rubber handles. You could also get them, special order them, and get pearl handle, and there was another ivory handles. But there very few of those were ever ordered. When this knife first came out, it was going for around $4 a pop. At that time, you could buy a really good knife for about $1.50. So this was a very expensive knife when it first came out, and not many were made in the beginning. Up into the late 20s and 30s, more people started buying them. I believe the price went down a little bit, or the price basically stayed the same. People, due to inflation and whatnot, $4 wasn't that bad a deal, even during the Depression. After the war, the price was still fairly cheap, and a lot of people bought them then. Now, this has nickel silver bolsters on it, and then this is just the guard is stainless steel, same as the end guard here. And once you open that up to close it, it's just like any other pocket knife. It's got a fairly stiff spring on it, and again, it's got that 90-degree stop. That's a safety stop, so you don't get your fingers caught in there when you're trying to close it, which I almost just did. And then snaps shut. And that is it for the Marbles safety folder. As I said, it's an MR204. And if you have any questions or comments, please leave them below. Click on the subscribe button below to subscribe to my channel if you'd like to see more videos about pocket knives. That's it for today. Thanks. And remember, always be prepared.